This is Walter Barrett and his magical control panel.
Okay, you want to talk about the control panel?
Right. So tell me what I'm looking at.
The panel automatically controls the on and off operation of the well pumps, the high service pumps, and the add air for the hydropneumatic tank, the air compressor. From the probes that were in the ground storage tank, they send signals to the well pump and tell the well pump to run. The pressure switches that are in the room with the high service pumps and the probes in the hydropneumatic tank tell the high service pumps to come on and off automatically. And you see that it's the high service pump's coming on and off real quick right now because we don't have a big demand and we have not enough air in the hydrogen. The air supply gets to the right point, that will stop happening.
Okay, so tell us what we need to know about this in terms of operations and maintenance. And
on the high service pumps, if you have a problem with them, you may get an overload light. You turn them off when you're done, and you can, if the high service pumps overload, there's a reset button on each one of these starters that will reset it. It'll also reset the well.
Okay, so let's walk through those. So the one on the left is for what?
There's real little bitty labels up at the top. This is the well pump starter.
Okay.
This is high service pump 1. We gotta turn that off. Okay, this is high service pump 1. This is high service pump 2. And this is the air compressor.
Okay. And those are labeled, correct?
Yeah, what do they do?
Okay, so talk to me about what else we have up here. Let's go up through the panel.
Alright, in the very beginning, this is the main breaker.
Okay.
In order to open the door, the main breaker has to be turned off through the handle on the outside of it.
Right.
The main breaker comes down and feeds the well breaker, high service pump 1 breaker, high service pump 2 breaker, and air compressor breaker. It also feeds power to the transformer. There are 2 fuses for the transformer that if the transformer stops working, you got to turn this breaker off to get to those 2 fuses to service it.
Okay.
This is a surge 480 volt surge protector. This is a 120 volt surge protector.
So tell me what we got here then. Let's talk about this. Let's go by each row here.
Let's go back. And this is 480 volt surge suppressor, I'm sorry. And this is a 120 volt surge suppressor. This is the control breaker. If something trips and your overloads are shown, turn the breaker off and it'll reset it. This is the breaker for the chemical feed metering pumps on the other side. These 3 Amatec things are reading the level in the ground storage tank and the probes for the high service pumps. These 3 things that are blinking red right now, they are minimum run timers, and if the power has been turned off, when you turn the power back on, they stage the starting of high service pumps and wells so that the generator won't have a excessive load. That's all they do. All the rest of the breakers are the relays are the ones that operate the various parts of the system.
How often would these need to be replaced, Walter?
They typically, unless something is on off all the time, they should never need to be replaced.
Okay. And then if we had to replace them, what would we do? Just call you, or?
Probably the easiest thing to do is to call me. If you have an electrician that understands the wiring diagram, if he doesn't understand the wiring diagram, you don't need him working on your panel.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
And so,
if you have an electrician that understands the electrical wiring diagram for the panel,
right?
You're welcome to have them service the panel. But if they don't understand it and how things work, they need to either contact Barrett Supply or Sun State Systems up there.
Okay, got it. There we go. All right, so tell me, what is this device?
That is the alternator that alternates the high service pumps when they come on.
Okay.
So we will start out running high service pump 1, and when it shuts off, high service pump 2 will come on the next time up.
And so these three again are what do they control?
These are okay. The probes that are in the ground storage in that 6-inch column.
Right.
Those probes are 220 volts, and when water hits them, it shorts out and closes one of these relays.
Gotcha.
So the opening and closing of this relay and this relay are controlling one of these controls turns the well pump on and off. One of them prevents the high service pumps from running because the level in the thing's too low, and the third one turns the air compressor on.
Gotcha. So tell us what's down here. What is this? Where the red wire is?
All of these are the terminals that go to either those sensors in various locations. The majority of these are all going to either the sensors in the ground storage tank, the pressure switches, or to the sensors in the...
So that's your feeder panel, basically feeding information to...
Yeah, this is all. This is the information coming in that the panel considers and makes the system run.
Gotcha. Okay.
Walter, can I interrupt you?
Is there any microprocessors
No.
associated? No microprocessors. Okay.
It's all simple relay logic.
Gotcha. Okay, very good.
Easy to replace, easy to understand.
Very good.